One of the most frustrating things you could ever be in the game of golf is stuck. And so those of you who are there, those of you who have been there, some of you are there and you don't realize it. How would you know? Because you're blocking it and hooking it, both missing left and right, that dreaded two-way miss without any sensation of what's going to come next or how you're going to control the club face. Good chance that you're stuck, and you're going to want to watch this video all the way till the end. Stay tuned. Hey, head over to hititlonger.com for over 100 free articles and videos and lots of endorsed products that I think are going to help improve your game. All right, let's talk about being handle stuck. I can smile now, but I'll tell you, very easy to be frowny for long periods of time because handle stuck, really tough to fix, and for a lot of people, they don't even realize that they're there. So here's what a couple definitions of stuck are like. Sometimes it can be, let's say you're in a pretty good spot at the top of the swing and the club kind of comes down vertically behind you. That's one way to start getting stuck there, because once you kind of go below, let's say this diagonal line would represent our Hogan plane, and once you get that handle underneath that thing, well, you're not going to keep going because you would just whiff the ball. So once that initial drop happens, well, now you've got to have an out to the ball component to this. So most people that get steep early like this, they have to try to make up for it late just to get out to the ball, and now we're on a really bad hand path, and there's that sign that you're stuck, is that club head is inside the hands at last parallel. Now, very few people have ever learned how to recover from here. What generally tends to happen here is you're going to hit blocks and flipped over hooks. A lot of play in the club face through the impact zone, and therefore no sense of whether you should be playing for a right miss or a left miss. A lot of penalty shots, a lot of putting driver back in your bag or leaving it in the garage because you don't know where it's going to go. So if that's you, good chance that you're kind of stuck. Now, you could actually bypass this vertical part and skip straight to the second part where you're on a good arc coming down like this, but then all of a sudden your left arm just keeps going out to the ball for too long like this. And you'll be able to see this because look, I've tripled my hand space here. Got 3 fists and a thumb from my pocket. And so as long as this handle end of the stick is not cutting left sharp enough, but instead either going straight out to right field, check out the laser beam going out to right field, or it's just simply turning the corner either too slowly, it's too late, or it's just not sharp enough. And you're going to end up in the same place. The shaft will be kind of tall, club face will be kind of open, and you're going to have to figure out an emergency parachute to square it, which will look something like this. So if you film yourself from down the line, look for those telltale signs. Stuck would look like this, and this, and this. And generally you're not going to have a very good time, especially if you have a lot of power, because you're going to hit it really crooked a lot. So now, of course, this video would be absolutely worthless and you'd all be torching me in the comments right now if I didn't offer a couple good drills to fix this. It is not easy to fix. You're going to have to slow down and get the hang of these things, but let me show you a couple ideas. They're going to help you get the handle going where it's supposed to. Number one, this is one you might have heard before, maybe on another channel, and that is you're going to feel like you're going to stab yourself in the thigh. Now, whether that's the front thigh or the back thigh, you'll have to play with, but you can take the handle and feel like you're stabbing yourself right in the middle of the thigh here. That gets you out of this. It's the opposite of bringing that arm back in again, bringing the handle around the corner left early. Of course, you'll be combining that with that handle still exiting left. But the sensation for a lot of people to fix being stuck is to actually stick the handle of their club in the thigh. Let me see if I can swing with that feeling one time, and we'll take a look at that in slow-mo. Just a nice easy one. Now that by itself may solve it for some of you, but for others of you out there, you might feel like you're doing it, and yet it still might not be quite enough to get you unstuck. Now a second drill I really like, and you've probably seen drills similar to this on my channel, this is what I'd call a force style of drill. So I've got defining parameters and I'm forcing myself to stay within certain parameters, similar to my inside out drill and some other ones that you might have seen. Now, this upgrades you from just a sensation. A sensation will work for some people, but it won't be strong enough for others because you just won't be disciplined enough or feel enough change to really get unstuck. So I've got this club sticking out with the head cover on it, and I've got it about even with my back hip. And don't worry, don't torch me. I'm gonna bring the camera around to the face on in a second so you can see exactly where I'm positioning this. Yeah, I'm already anticipating your comments. So here, I'm in a good spot, and now I've got to get inside this head cover and not hit it. It's not about going under. I've got it high enough. It's about staying inside this. You'll also feel like maybe your butt's got to get out of the way a little bit in order to free up this hand path right here, rather than the one that kind of goes out there. So something like this, I'm in the slot here. Now the handle starts to turn the corner. There's your stick it in the thigh feel, but now I'm forcing myself to do that. I come in shallow, look at that club face square to the arc. I'm going to exit about a hand span from this hip and around on my merry way. Let's see if I can pull this off with a soft swing. So the result was a little baby draw with the sensation that the toe did not roll over at all, but came around flapping through a lot more neutral. And that's really what I'm looking for, is to hit a little draw without flipping it. Now you can see from the slow motion replay that the club and the head cover really forced my handle to turn the corner early and sharply, causing it to be fairly close to the right pocket coming in. Then it continues to exit and curve around to the left, and that looks like a pretty good swing. All right, let's take a look at one from the face-on view. This way you can see where I've set my bag up and set the club and the head cover up. You can see I've got it, and your mileage may vary a bit, but I'd put it anywhere from the middle of the thigh, and I've got this just a little bit outside my right hip, and I've got it about 2 hand spans away from my pocket. This way it opens up the alleyway I'm trying to swing the handle and the hands through, be much, much closer. And again, I'll be good in the slot here, and now here, very close to the right thigh. Look at that club face nice and square early, so I don't have to goose it at all. I can flap it through very close to this pocket and on its way around the arc. Just caught it a little bit with the back of my wrist. Got to keep improving. And one more angle just for good measure, the up the line angle. We're going to take a look at the exercise here. nice and shallow, comes in close to the pocket. So this head cover is preventing me from continuing out to right field with the handle for too long and ending up in the handle stuck position where I then have to flip it over. So here we go, it's here. And again, that's where I almost feel like I would stab myself in the thigh with the handle. Club's coming in shallow and square, exiting left, not flipping over. Let's see if I can make a swing look like that. Now you can practice either one of these drills at home, either with or without your bag setup, depending on which one you like better. But I like this one because it forces me to do it correctly. Now I can just go in pieces and I can practice the tricky area right here where the shaft and the handle needs to turn the corner early and sharply like this. And I get that stab it in my thigh feeling when I do this. And I can kind of do this enough times to where I get a sense of flow and I start to visualize the curve or the shape that I want the handle to travel on. Now again, why are we doing this? Why are we paying so much attention to this end of the stick? Well, that's because the way it makes this end of the stick perform both in a neutral club path, but also less club face closure or rate of closure through the impact zone that'll hopefully have you going much, much straighter. All right, this is obviously my weak point, so I'm gonna get back to work on my exercise here. But hey, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.